Okay, so say you have all of your jets working, but yet you don't have your little waterfall working, which is like right there. That is for your recirculating pump. Where you get to it, take off screws, and on mine, screws. And it's always good to take one of these out that way because these slide up behind it, and it's pretty much impossible to get them on if all of them are in place. But anyway, here's my pump. Looks like it has quite a bit of corrosion right there. If I had to bet, the shaft is frozen. It was making a hell of a noise last year. But anyway, there's your shut-off valves. That way you don't have to drain the tub if you don't want to. And there should be one over there on the other side of the heater. But let me go ahead and get it out. Okay, and there's the pump out. Took me all of 2 minutes to get it out, basically. I mean, you can see even though I turned the valves in, took the safeties out, turned them in, some water still came out. I mean, about maybe 2-3 gallons, whatever was in that long line. You can see that these are flexible, so it's really easy to take in and out. 2 bolts hold it in. Take the control panel off, loosen the lug, pop it loose from there. I took a picture of it just for the sake of argument, just in case the new one doesn't come with it and I have to splice. I did notice that there's a little bit of cockroach crap. As you can see, there's cockroaches everywhere out here. It's ridiculous. I live on an island and there's just lots and lots of oak trees. And I had problems with pool pumps before. So I'm wondering if maybe that board right there isn't shorted out. But anyway, if you're curious about the amazing amount of tools I need to get that out of there, Phillips screwdriver takes off the sides, opens up the control panel. This is for the ground, obviously flat blade. It's got a little strap here. My little trick is just push like that. And then once it's out, I pop it out because I mean you can see how it just gets stuck in there. And big old channel grips to get those 2 things started. And obviously for the mounting bolts, 12mm and extension. And that's about it. Let's go test it. Okay, well there's several tests that you can actually do here. One, make sure that it spins free. You can feel that does not feel good. You can see how it just kind of like slips forward. You got a start capacitor which you can bypass to see if it works. This one also has a stationary switch on the inside. I didn't even get that far with it. Basically, I just cut off the end of an old cord, shoved it in there, and you can hear it hum when I hook it up. And you start spinning it, and it starts to spin. But man, if it doesn't sound like crap. I think I'm going to be replacing the motor as well as the impeller because the impeller's kind of broken at the end. If I had to bet, I'm probably going to have to replace that little control board too. But the reason it was humming is because the bearings are almost shot in this thing. So, anyway, there's a little bit of everything right there all in one, yay. Okay, well I went on ahead and I ordered a new pump. I mean, remember basically I said that this one, obviously, the impeller motor, or the impeller itself is cracked, and it's basically fused to the rusty output shaft. I went on ahead and took off the housing, and no, it doesn't have a stationary switch, this is just terminal block. It uses a start capacitor only. The back bearing is good, but you can hear the front bearing. I mean, it's just horrible. And some of the times, the buzzing will actually be for the capacitor being bad, and it won't have enough juice to start it. But, you know, in this case, it's actually just the motor itself. Granger wanted $120 just for the replacement motor for this. Then I still would have had to buy all the little parts. Ended up going online and searching, and I ended up getting an Aquaflow, which is basically the exact same thing, from Pool Supply World. I ended up getting this whole thing for $166 shipped. There was a bunch of places that wanted like 200 plus for it. You can see 1563 spa motor, 1563 spa motor. I mean, it even shows you how to set it up. It does have different catalog numbers, but that's just because this is an updated unit. Basically, I took the old model number and just put it into Google search, and it kept coming back with this model number as well as a couple other ones, because this will fit several types of hot tubs. Anyway, and like I said about the capacitor, obviously that's going to be the only other problem. Like, you're either going to have a motor problem itself or the capacitor, which is going to be why it's buzzing. I already took this one off, and here it is right here. It is a 5 microfarads plus or minus 6%. And what you're going to need is you're going to need a multimeter that can actually read capacitance. This one is just a it's actually a $40, no, $38 multimeter from Harbor Freight. And you just get like a 20% off coupon, and it's like 30 bucks. Anyway, you set it to the capacitance one right here for the probes. Set the capacitance here. Turn it on. Make sure that you hit the select button on this one. Like you can see right now, it's set on ohms. Now it's set on farads. It's doing nanofarads right now. Then what you'll do is you'll discharge the cap, and you'll just hook the probe to the 2 wires. Let me see if I can actually do this while holding the camera. Super clumsy. And it is steady at 7.3 microfarads. And this one is plus or minus 6%, so this is a good cap. So I'm going to keep this one as a spare. I mean, obviously, if this cap in here goes bad, then I won't have to worry about going and buying another one. So I'm just going to junk the rest of it. Anyway, that's about it. Now it's time to just go on ahead. And as you can see, this one is a little bit different. There's the actual green. Green goes here on the case, goes to here on the case on this one. Actually, I take that back. That's actually for the ground strap. The green still does go inside. Basically, I'm just going to go ahead and swap these lines out from this one into this one, and then go ahead and get it back in the pool, or the hot tub. Okay, 5 minutes later, and the new pump is in, and you can hear it just going right along. One thing I will say is that the motor that I did get did come with new connectors. I didn't even use those. However, it does come with no O-rings, and I will say, go ahead and make sure you use those. You can just see how these are depressed. And when I put it back together, the top one was leaking, and I got water everywhere. All you do is just use a little tiny screwdriver, and you just pick behind it until it pops out. Stick the new one in, put it on, go on ahead and tighten everything up. You can see I just kind of like bent the emergency ground and got it hooked in. And yeah, make sure you take the water valves out and put them back the way they were. And ta-da! My recirculation pump is now working.